Welcome to our Metal Reactions channel. I'm Brad.
I'm Alena.
We've been having a great time taking a journey through metal with you and each other.
If you enjoy our videos and would like to support us, now you can do so on Patreon.
It's €1 and will help us to put out more frequent and better quality videos, and you can find the link in the description below. So, we are back into Tool now, our second Tool video. We're going to be doing 46 and 2. It was a unanimous, pretty much, suggestion, so there's no one to shout out to. It's everyone that suggested Tool pretty much was saying do this song, especially in light of the previous song that we did, Sober.
So it's also old song?
Older, yes. And that was actually one of the reasons people were saying to do it was you don't want to jump too new yet. Start with a few of the really good old Tool songs, and we'll just sort of move forward through the discography there.
Okay, let's start then.
Okay, it'll be the album cover. I mean the album version.
All right. I like it. I like the music because I don't know. The singing is kind of shadowed by the music. I don't know. Maybe it seems to me. And there is this one like constant melody, and then on top of it there is something added or like taken away or just increases. I don't know what it is, the like additional instruments adding to that, but I like how there's like one string that goes through the whole song and sort of keeps it all together, probably. And it's a bit, I don't know, kind of Middle Eastern vibe or something.
I hear that too. See where you're coming from.
Like, I don't know, it's happening like in the desert or something. Something like that. I can imagine like the deserts and the sands everywhere and like this music.
Okay, cool.
That was really, really cool. I think I liked the music even more than singing.
Okay.
It was just so captivating.
Is that a first for you? Because normally you're just like lyrics first, instrumentals kind of second.
I noticed that you also like closed your eyes when you were listening to it, because this kind of I also did, because you just want to sort of plunge into it and distance from everything else and just feel that vibrating.
Yeah. Tool is really like that. Like it's I find like a very inward thing. Okay, I mean music in general is very inward, but there's music where you want to just like shout and, you know, destroy things, and then there's music where you just want to go into your own like little world and just feel every like piece of it.
Yeah, I think this one is for the inner world. Yeah. Definitely. And the music is kind of also this metamorphosis, like in the song we just mentioned. And now I know why I thought of the desert and the sands, because, you know, in the desert, who are you going to talk to other than your shadow?
Okay, true. I think for me there's a particular like drum sound that is quite Middle Eastern to me. After you said that, I listened and I noticed there was like a particular drum that was giving me that vibe.
I think for me it was this whole, I don't know what it was. It was the guitar, the core melody. Okay. Yeah, but I don't know if it was really intended, so it's just me imagining things.
So it's very different, right? The timing of everything is so intricate and strange. It's not your like pop 4 beats or 4 let's go, you know, catchy and you can complete the song.
It feels like here every moment is precisely calculated how it should be, just, you know, like they're playing the listener. Like, okay, now we're gonna touch this vibe, then no, this one, and then it's really cool and precise.
Lyrically, any ideas, or were you just lost in the music there?
I mean, the music and also the words, they kind of paint really vivid images. I don't know how related they are to the intended meaning of the song, but just listening to the song you start imagining things, what it could be, you know. Obviously I have no idea what is 46 and 2, and also it's written strangely because 46 is with words and 2 is with number. I don't know if it's specific or not, but
I hadn't even noticed that.
I get the sense that it is probably specific, but I don't know what it is. Okay. So this is a mystery to me. But then in the singing, you kind of hear that talk, because there were different different tones of voices that I used for different verses, and like this really soft voice. I think it belonged to the shadow, kind of luring the person into it, and showing coming to the dark side, basically. So like the first 2 lines, joining my child, it's the shadow talking. I didn't even first realize why it is so soft. Was it like something wrong with this video, or just with my earphones or something? And then I realized that it was intended to be probably that soft, just very, very slight.
Coaxing you in.
Yes. And there were several things like that. And I really enjoyed, there was this part, but it was close to the end, when there were 2 verses, and definitely they were told spoken by different people, and they start from the same but then end in different verb. So first the shadow, I think, was talking, because it wasn't that soft voice. I choose to live and to grow. Choose to live and to grow, take and give and to move, learn and love and to cry. And then the other verse that was spoken by that person talking to the shadow, I choose to live and to lie, kill and give and to die, instead to move, and then learn and love and to do instead of to cry. So it's kind of the slight thing that shows that it's different people speaking. Yeah, and it feels like the whole song is just this struggle between the shadow and like the person whose shadow it is. It's kind of a dance, and because of the mention of like metamorphosis and shedding skin, I was also thinking of snakes. You know how they leave their old skin behind, and at the beginning, it really totally made sense, like how you leave all that past in your baggage and then you try to find the answers in your past, just by going through that, old remains of what was you once. I found it really vivid, like my old muscle looking for a clue, digging through my old muscles looking for a clue. That is just, I mean, you can imagine that. And it just burnt in my memory now, I think. And also I thought about snake because it was saying I've been crawling on my belly. Like snakes do. And then it was speaking about the changes. So it looks like, I don't know, in my understanding, that so the person is struggling through something that and trying to make a choice where to go next. And it seems like he's like tired of the struggle and he doesn't see any way out other than to embrace that shadow and either come out on the other side completely, clean of it, or just stay there. And to me, it's not really clear whether the ending is defined. It can happen either way.
Previously, so we did a sober, and we kind of started going into some of this sort of subject matter. I think we're talking about like maybe personifying the addiction or whatever, and it being like, I think probably you even specifically said it like being a shadow over you. And then I think you referred to some Russian literature where they kind of have that idea.
There was a poem by a Russian poet, Yesenin. I don't imagine you know, but
someone will.
Yeah, it is literally translated like a black man, and there the person is like talking to that black man in the mirror, and that black man
being
is
a shadow.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So something like that. There was also a play by Schwartz, also. I'm not sure if it's Russian, but it's Russian speaking definitely. So there was a movie about a shadow. So the play that was made into the movie, a very old one, where a shadow started living its own life. Like one night, it just separated from the person and started on its own and just trying to realize all those, dark ambitions and just doing everything the wrong way, but then being more successful and more sort of accomplished in the eyes of the society, like in terms of moving up the ladder, but then not being a good person at all. Well, that's just the two that just come to my mind right away, but I'm sure there were many other that I either don't remember or don't know that also talk about this duality again. Between the dark side and dark shadow of a person and the other side that struggle for something different. Okay.
So I think that's a really good stab at it. You've definitely nailed one big part of it. So I have read a little bit on it because I've known about the song before. To answer your question about 46 and 2,
yeah, tell me.
It is extremely specific. I would never have known this if I didn't read it. So I'm just going to read a little bit for you from, this is actually a Wikipedia page on the song.
Okay.
So what it says is, Popular belief dictates the song title refers to an idea first conceived by Carl Jung, and I think that's how you say his name, and later expounded upon by Drunvalo Melchizedek.
That's the first time I hear that name.
Concerning the possibility of reaching a state of evolution at which the body would have 2 more than the normal 46 total chromosomes and leave a currently disharmonious state. So I don't know how much you know about philosophy, but so it goes further here. The premise is humans would deviate from the current state of human DNA, which contains 44 autosomes and 2 sex chromosomes. The next step of evolution would likely result in human DNA being reorganized into 46 autosomes and 2 sex chromosomes, according to, I'm not going to try to say his name again. Additionally, it may refer to the desire to experience change through the shadow, an idea that represents the part of one's identity that one hates, fears, and represses. This exists as a recurring theme in the work of Carl Jung. So, quite interesting.
So it's kind of the change, the metamorphosis towards the superhuman.
Yeah, no, it's not in this quote. I'd read a little bit longer on this, but I mean, please in the comments give us more detail. I'm sure there's some of you that are real experts in what the song means, but this evolution into more chromosomes has something to do with like a unity consciousness, or something like in our current state we're in a disharmonious consciousness, and I think there were varying levels of evolution where like one is each cell has its own consciousness versus each body has its own consciousness versus everything all together has one consciousness. Some sort of philosophical idea like that I don't know the details of.
Interesting.
Quite an interesting choice for song subject matter that they went with here.
Mm-hmm. But it doesn't necessarily, like here, so I suppose the shadow is that kind of superhuman, right? Here?
I think the shadow is more just that's just to do with Carl Jung's work, not where the chromosome stuff went afterwards. It's sort of 2 ideas of Carl Jung's that I think they're bringing into one song. It seems like an ode to his philosophy. Or philosophies.
Yeah, that's really deep.
Yeah. So welcome to Tool. The Tool's going to take us on a journey like this. We're going to learn some stuff. You and me both.
That's interesting how now that you've read that. So remember how I was talking that there are 2 verses that start the same but then end in a different. So the one that is like spoken by the shadow, I suppose, or whatever that idea is, that idea of a human is, it has like more lines in it, you know, so maybe it has like more dimensions of
growing a chromosome.
I don't know.
Or 2.
No, I mean it has like more feeling dimensions than the current version. But I don't know. But it doesn't necessarily here. I mean, here it talks about transformation, but it doesn't necessarily say that it's going to be like a good transformation, you know, for the best. I mean, when you go and embrace the shadow, like anything could happen, you know, you can fight off it and really evolve through that, or you can just be consumed by it and become one. So I think it's good that it's kind of remaining open-ended, the song. So something is ahead, but we don't really know what and how it's gonna affect us.
Which is life.
Yeah.
Very realistic take on it.
That's very scientific music.
Again, welcome to Tool. Even like the structural, like the structure of the instrumentals and stuff is far too complicated for my brain to understand. Like, they have weird maths in there. Like, I think they have Fibonacci sequences in their music and stuff like that. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on it. I'm sure as we go down the tool rabbit hole, we'll come across some more stuff like that. But yeah, this is like serious puzzle music.
Okay, I'm looking forward to more.
Actually, you reminded me. So there's on that Wikipedia page, just to give you some idea. Now I don't even know what all these things mean, but it says, okay, the song is mostly in 4/4 time, with some sections of 7/8 in between. In the intro, Danny Carey plays 4 measures of 7/8 on the ride cymbal over the rest of the band playing in 4/4. And they all meet up on the downbeat of the 5th measure in 4/4. During the bridge, there are 3 measures of 7/8 followed by 1 measure of 4/4. During a particular quad fill, the drums are in 3/8. The guitar plays 1 measure of 9/8 followed by 1 in 5/8, all while the bass keeps time in 7/8.
This is all rocket science.
Yeah.
Especially in English for me. Okay, I suppose it does add to it, and we don't know what it adds.
My little brain may
just
not
overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Already.
Tool are doing this, and I'm like just grasping at little bits of what's going on here.
Okay, well, it's important to try.
Yeah. But I mean, you love music with purpose, like where everything has a very precise and particular reason for being there. We found it.
Yay! So can we do now all Tool?
Okay.
Thanks for that.
Anything else?
That was a really good suggestion.
Yeah. Let us know what's next. Where do you think we should go in the Tool catalog? I'm thinking still earlier albums. Yeah, let us know.
Thank you for watching.
See you again soon.